YouTube, we are here for ChroNoSo. We are back for the final segment of this 9th episode of ChroNoSo. Dave Hall is with me. How is it down under, Dave?
Oh, it's a beautiful day down here. We're in the middle of our winter while you guys are in the middle of your summer. Always makes for fun recording.
Hold on, pause. It's winter there? It's not just day. I'm
Yeah,
nighttime. You're Friday morning and it's winter?
yeah, and it's winter.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
we're
pretty.
the complete opposite down here.
I wasn't ready for that. All right. I knew the time was
Ah,
different, but I didn't know the seasons were different.
yeah,
That's interesting. I
yeah.
guess you learn
Seasons are the opposite too.
I guess you learn something new every day. That may be on me. I'm willing to take that L.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll forgive you.
All right, but we are here to talk the start to the build to SummerSlam main event. And we're going to go over 3 episodes of Superstars from July 1988 and a wrestling challenge in August. With all this having to do with the Macho Man Randy Savage, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Virgil, and the returning Hulk Hogan, and of course, Miss
The
Elizabeth.
lovely Miss Elizabeth.
So all those
So,
moving parts kind of come into one of someone you could easily say a top 3 story in this company's history. You want to say the best, you want to say top 3, I don't think you're wrong either way, but I think it's definitely
it's certainly up there. Certainly up there as one of the best.
for sure. So quick turnaround here. We got the Macho Man Randy Savage defeating Ted DiBiase at WrestleMania 4 to win the tournament. If you haven't heard that, some decent little guy put that main event and did a nice job of adding that to the ChroNoSo list there. And if you missed that one, go check that out on the YouTubers. That's on audio form. But now we are here. We have one appearance for Hulk Hogan between WrestleMania 4 and the end of July. I believe he defeated Boris Zukov. We went over this in this episode in audio. I think Tim Slomka hit that one. You said that was May? May or
April, May, sometime
May,
in that period.
right?
Yeah.
Tim probably did a solid 4 or 5 minutes on that quick bout. But this is the first time that we ever added superstars. We added a few house show matches that were kind of just high water marks on the work level. So yeah, it's a nice twist to hear ChroNoSo.
It's been good. It's been a good journey. I hope you've all enjoyed just some different things this episode, and we look forward to hearing how everyone receives it. But this storyline is really I mean, like you said, it's a big plane. It builds. We're looking at the build to SummerSlam, but I think the interesting thing is not only where we're going to pick things up from in this story. Since WrestleMania, there has been very minimal interaction on television, on Challenge and on Superstars and the Saturday night's main event that you've been listening to it this episode. There's been very little interaction between Savage and DiBiase outside of the typical house show promos. They're meeting in a series of rematches. So, and Andre has been, back with Heenan and doing his thing. We've heard that earlier this episode too. So there's really been a big, at least on television, a big separation between Savage and Andre and DiBiase. So I think this storyline, it's very interesting that the way it came about really sort of brings the key players back together after some a couple of months break, and that's where we're going to pick this story up. We're going to start in July, 8th or 9th of July. I can't remember the exact air date for
July
Superstars.
8th.
Probably where you were.
Yep, July 8th. Yep, it's
Yeah.
a special interview we have here with Craig DeGeorge, of course.
That's it. Craig DeGeorge up on the stage. And this is obviously this is before the Brother Love segment became the norm on Superstars. And Craig DeGeorge introduces Randy Savage, brings him and Liz out. They're up on the stage and really this is just it's a backfill. Craig talks about how the madness has never been madder, and Randy Savage says he's ready for anybody. I guess we find out how ready he actually is because in the middle of the segment, Andre and DiBiase and Virgil and Heenan just come. Well, Andre and mouthing off at him. They're just just standing off the edge of the stage, mouthing off at him, and Savage is there calling him up. Come on, I'll take you on any time. And then from behind, DiBiase comes, knees Savage in the back, and sends him flying off the stage. That's actually that's a pretty big bump for 1988, off the stage and onto the floor.
It looked pretty good. You could see a little red herring with the George putting his arm around Liz, holding her so Virgil could just come and take her over. And yeah, that flying knee that DiBiase's famous for hit him square in the back, and Macho did a great job flying off there right into Andre's arms. They continue on the floor. Andre started choking him out. DiBiase had those great rights. They're wearing him down. They did a good job.
Heenan's there urging him on, and I just love Virgil's up on the stage holding Liz, like just holding Liz back. I mean, not that Liz would jump down or do anything, but it gives a good visual.
Yep. Add some juice to it. Absolutely. He's a bodyguard, so he's protecting Teddy. Come on.
That's it. And that's really all this segment. I mean, that's the segment. They're just laying the beat down onto Savage. They leave him lying on the ground, and they're laughing as the segment sort of ends and goes to ad break. And Vince does the Vince thing. Complaining about it, and Jesse is as good as Jesse always is. Sort of. Talking about how dominant DiBiase and Andre look, and he wouldn't want to, obviously Liz wouldn't want to be in there, and it doesn't help, and doesn't do Savage any good.
Vince does say, "Oh, look at Liz in that dress. Knock me out, Jesse." What is he? What is that?
Dirty old man started early.
What a thing to say there, but hey, what are we doing? But anyways, that's good stuff. So yeah, that was the first episode of Superstars. All these come on the platform, and the second one is 2 weeks later on the 723 Superstars. It is the $1 Million Virgil, it is Andre, and it is Bobby Heenan with Craig DeGeorge again. And Craig DeGeorge says, "All right, Macho issued the challenge, guys. What do you say?" And the challenge was for a match when Macho is going to have a tag team partner to be named later. And that DeGeorge goes on to says, "Well, I talked to Jack Tunney, and wouldn't you know that there's going to be a special referee for this match?"
Just before you get there, he says that, what I really love, Heenan's issuing the response, and he's saying on behalf of everyone, he says that they've asked for a concession from Jack Tunney. They're willing to take the match, but they have asked for one condition, and that is that they get an official. I love this. He says, "We get an official who is no mamby-pamby sissy, who can't back up the decisions that he makes. A man who can control things in the ring. If we get that, we'll agree to the match." And then DeGeorge basically goes, "This is your lucky day."
And he says that Jack Tunney told him it's going to be Jesse the Body Ventura. And then for some reason, Virgil hands Ted DiBiase a big wad of money, and then he just opens it up. They look at each other, and then they go on to laugh for about 20 seconds straight, saying, "Jesse the Body, we got this in the bag."
Oh, I love it. And what's really, when they announce Jesse as the ref, Jesse on commentary starts laughing, and you get the old Vince going, "What? It's you? What are you doing?" And it's real. But that moment where DiBiase and Andre and Heenan are all just laughing, it's that telling moment. Like they feel they've backed not just Savage into a corner, but they've got Jack Tunney backed into a corner that they feel they can't lose. And it really just had that moment, that laughing moment really just sort of makes the interview work.
Yep. So right now we have the $1 Million Bucks with Virgil and Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jesse Ventura as the guest referee versus the Macho Man, wrestler to be named later. And it's at Madison Square Garden, the big city. They go on to talk about the big city, the big lights. Who can fill the big city, the big lights? And that brings us to the week after, July 30th, 1988 Superstars. When the Macho Man comes out again with Elizabeth. Macho, was that considered street clothes for Macho? I did see that. It was kind of jeans, sequin shirt. I don't know. It was a little weird.
The sequin shirt was pretty common, but the jeans more than the tights was very, very, very reminiscent of of the image he would wear when he was the Macho King. But except like you said, jeans, very, very down street worthy.
Acid wash
So
jeans, by the way.
mm,
Very 80s right there.
yeah. And I love Savage gets up there and he's not happy. He says what happened last time he was out here isn't gonna happen again. And he really highlights the fact that last time we saw this interview with him, Virgil put his dirty, slimy hands on Elizabeth's shoulders, and that's not gonna happen again.
We need to protect
Um,
Elizabeth.
that's it. And because he's got someone watching his back, and look, you can hear the crowd in the background have already
Oh,
started the
oh,
chants. So I think it's really telling, he doesn't sort of drag it out. I've got the greatest partner in the world that you could ever have, and Real American just starts blaring over the
before you announce
system.
it, yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna delay this out. The crowd knows where it's going, and out comes Hogan. The crowd goes wild.
Yep.
And Jesse says, "Now you know why Jack Tunney came to me, because I'm the only man who can maintain law and order with these men."
Yep. So we got three of the biggest stars in company's history. $10 million Man is still that top tier main eventer here. These could be the four biggest stars in the current
Mm,
time right here, coming out of WrestleMania 4 for sure. In the early '88, colliding here in the Summer Slam
mm.
for the inaugural Summer Slam main event was, of course, Jesse the Body Ventura in New York City, the biggest city for the WWF. So the stage is set to have a kick-ass main event. But there's three things.
Absolutely.
There's three
Yeah,
things
I was gonna say,
Hogan claims.
yeah,
What are they?
three
What's
thi
one?
3 things that Hogan likes about Macho, and these are
Yep,
really telling. He says that they're fighting for the love of the Hulkamaniacs and the Madness Maniacs. So,
fans.
that's
Yep.
yeah, the fans. And then he says they're fighting for the same lady. And Hogan just straight out announces that Liz is now our manager.
Yep.
And and
Yep.
I nearly fell off my chair when I heard that, because I didn't realize they brought that element to the story so early in the piece. It's,
They planted
just
that
out of
seed
nowhere.
right away.
Liz
Yep.
is our manager. She's our lady. And they're fighting for the same cause, but and they do that the mega powers handshake, the in and let's see if we can get this through the camera there, but yeah, which way we can. I think I'm facing the wrong way.
You
There it
went
is.
you went down under on the camera. They
Liz is our manager because up till now, yeah, Hogan's done a couple of the run-in saves. We've talked about that over the ChroNoSos. The honky run-in, the WrestleMania 4, he comes down at sort of helping Savage, but Hogan's never needed a manager.
No,
And and
he's never
why
been
would
not the
Hogan
champion though.
care? No, he's not. That's true. That's
Yeah, and
true.
who's the
So,
champion now? He's gonna kinda clam his way to it. So a little character flaw from the Hulkster right there. But
and he makes it clear Liz is gonna be in his corner and
yep,
she's signing the contract. So they're really pushing this Liz is his manager thing. I think they're laying that foundation very, very early.
he closes with it too. He says,
Mm.
"She's our lady too, brother." And he threw a
Yep.
brother in there. He
Yeah.
said
Now
not
it's
a he
interesting.
opened said manager, and then he closed with lady. So
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
energy
interesting
going on
that
there.
Savage doesn't we don't get the jealous reaction out of Savage is just he's going along with it at this point. It's
He
almost like,
feels
I'm
safe.
just
He feels
mm,
safe because he was outnumbered by, Andre, Ted, and
mm,
Heenan and Virgil. He felt he's outnumbered, so he feels safe. There's no
mm,
need to be insecure yet. They haven't. He wants to conquer them. He wants to get past them because he's going to bring in all the challengers, but he's outnumbered. So Hogan's there to help him out. Hogan
mm,
showed that he was on his side when he won, and he came down and helped him in the main event, like you said, like you told us about
mm,
it at WrestleMania 4. Got Andre away once. Andre's back. He needs Hulk to
mm.
protect him.
That's it. That's it. And so it's all set. The foundation has been laid for our main event at SummerSlam. But
Yes.
there's just one more element to this story, and it
Okay.
comes up on the August 27th wrestling challenge. So we're nearly a month, and it's essentially a week before SummerSlam. So we're just jumping ahead a little
We're
bit
just gonna
here
hit it.
from
That's
from
fine.
our thing. But it's a really key piece, and we've got a Brother Love. Brother Love has launched. He's only been on for about 4 weeks. The Brother Love show has just been launched in the WWF, and they're at this point it's on Wrestling Challenge. And Brother Love brings out Jesse Ventura as his guest, and Jesse comes out and they do the basic, glad handing each other, and then Brother Love looks at Jesse and goes, Jesse, we need to talk about something, because I've heard that there's one thing that Jesse Ventura is deathly afraid of, and that is the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. And Jesse grabs Brother Love, holds his fist up, and says, "Do you see this?" And the crowd are cheering. They're loving it. I mean, I think they're thinking we could be getting a face turn from Jesse. We love him, and Jesse goes, "I could I could come back into the ring tomorrow and probably become the world champion. I'm not afraid of anybody." So it's just this moment that Jesse really plays into that underground love. He's the heel, but Vince, Jesse, everyone knows that he's popular now. Everyone loves Jesse on
Yeah.
commentary and really plays into it. And the crowd are getting behind you, thinking this could be happening. And at this point, this is where it goes well, because Heenan and DiBiase and Andre all come out and Brother Love, oh, welcome, brother Million Dollar Man, welcome, brother Heenan, welcome, brother Andre. And Andre just walks up and puts his hand on Jesse's shoulder and puts the finger in his face and says, "You listen up and listen good." And the look on Jesse's face, it's so well done. He looks terrified. He plays it so well. We've just done this. Yeah, you're afraid of Andre. I'm not afraid of anything. And Andre gets in his face, and Jesse looks terrified. But they don't sit on it too long, because Andre moves aside, and DiBiase comes over and puts his hand on his shoulder and says, when you pay attention to the $1 million Man, and he starts taking $100 notes off Virgil and starts opening the jacket of Jesse and puts them in one at a time. And Jesse, and yeah, he says, when you pay attention, it always pays off. And Jesse, he's looking every time, he's watching the hand. So he goes over with the hand into the pocket, over the hand, he's just watching all these notes going in, and and Jesse just says at the end, he guarantees there will be a winner and there will be a loser. And that's where the segment ends. Jesse, has he been bribed? Has he taken a payoff?
Yeah. This is
On
a week right
on
before the main event at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and on Superstars, where they showed, they replayed this, Vince straight asked him, "You took the money. Why'd you take the money?" And he says, Jesse goes, "He stuck money in my jacket. There's no deal. I can't stop him if he wants to put money in my jacket. And I love money. Why wouldn't I accept it?" So it's just such a good setup, because now the doubt's been laid that, is Jesse on the take? Is he going to be down the middle and be the referee straight down the middle, or is he gonna favor the mega bucks? So it's
Okay.
just such a great foundation.
So after the back to the last Superstars in July, Jesse did close the Hogan and Savage segment where they came together. He said, "McMahon, there will be a winner." So
Mm.
he told us the first thing he said about it was there will be a winner, and now he's taking the bribe. So there's going to be a winner, but he took the money, but the money was given to him. He's not going to reject it.
Yeah,
So
it's not a bribe. He said, "I didn't take a
bribe,
bribe, but there's been no deal struck." No, but
bribe.
it's just,
Yep.
yeah. No, but it's just such a well set up. We've got a main event at
Yep.
SummerSlam completely set up outside of the initial attack on Savage, which set up the need for backup. We don't have all these ongoing matches. We don't have run-ins and stuff like that. We've just used those angles, those interview segments and the Brother Love segment to set up this main event, which it was done so well, highly anticipated. Everyone's sitting there going, Hogan's back. Yes, that means the Mega Powers will win. But hang on a second. Jesse might not be on. He's a bad guy, and he's being paid off. And can Hogan and Savage overcome this? It really sets up that main event just nicely.
So that we would call this chapter 1 of the Mega Powers. And I think we did a pretty good job of kind of highlighting what's going on to that big first end of that first chapter of the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah, can't wait.
So Dave, that was interesting. A lot of early seeds being planted on the road to SummerSlam between these two guys in this very historical, what you call storyline angle, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to see how this plays out. And well, you're going to just have to wait, everyone, because that's next episode. Next episode.
All right, this is the perfect way to close it, Dave. So this is the last block here on ChroNoSo. Guys, go back. This is on YouTube, so go back and listen to all the audio leading up to here. We have a plethora of events from Superstar, from Andre and Duggan. We have
Rude and Jake.
April. We have Jake and Jewel. Is this where the wife comes in on the end? On the
Cheryl
end
Roberts.
April. Yep. We have Strike Force versus Demolition from MSG. We have Boris versus Hogan in mid-April, like we just talked about. We have Beefcake running in on Honky towards the end of May. We have a few Rougeau segments where they turn heel. Fine, yourself are going to go over that. We have a Spectrum. We have a Spectrum match between Bad News Brown and Bret Hart that Kelly and I do a watch along here on YouTube. We have Steve Bennett going over the Bret Hart dumping Jimmy Hart and fully going face with the right there. We have D'Amato going over a DiBiase and Savage cage match from MSG. And then we have Haku. Haku is getting coronated from
All hail the king.
All hail this king. That was on the first episode that we went over. So that's some of the stuff we had here on audio. And that's some of the stuff I wanted to plug on YouTube to go seek out on the audio. So that's it for this episode, Dave. We will catch you on the next one, buddy. And it is WrestleFest 1988.